Hello everybody, Seth Wilkinson from SealRyt Corporation, manufacturers of the SealRyt bearing and high performance mechanical packing, here today for the Pump Seal channel to talk to you briefly about gland followers. All right, gland followers, most pumps have them, and we've had a lot of inquiries as to why we manufacture gland followers. Well, we kind of fell into it a little bit. The number one reason why we started getting into it was because we had certain customers that were going from a mechanical seal configuration over to a standard packing or using our SealRyt bearing technology in their pumps, and therefore they misplaced throughout, got rid of the gland follower that came with the pump. So we decided that we would then start making gland followers, and we also in that process realized that we could make some enhancements to these gland followers that would make them a lot stronger, more reliable. And the more we looked into it, the more we realized that, hey, this is actually a very integral part to what we do and when sealing with packing or the SealRyt. So really, what makes us different? Well, there's several things. With some of those old gland followers, again, why you would want to replace it, because either you don't have it, again, mechanical seal, you threw it out, misplaced it, what have you, or the gland follower that you have is either bent or broken, or that is just worn out over time. Maybe the design isn't adequate enough, and by that meaning it's not exacting even pressure or force onto that packing. It may be splitting at the seam. Maybe the material itself isn't resilient enough, either mechanically or chemically. So there's a lot of different reasons why we got into gland follower manufacture, and there's several reasons why ours is a little bit better. All right, so most gland followers, this is just a standard Gould gland follower. Usually these are cast, then machined. And you can see here's another one, a little bit larger. Again, cast, then machined. All right. So problem with casting is you have entrained air in here, which make them mechanically a little less resilient than if it was just a straight machined piece. All right. Also, when you look at this design, not a horrible design, but you can kind of see that it was a bit of an afterthought. So they have bolts that come down here and secure the two halves together. Well, yes, you do have some mating, which will give it some inherent strength, but if you apply too much pressure at that split, all you're asking this thing to stay together are these two probably 1/4 inch bolts. So you apply too much pressure, and what's going to happen? You could have a gap or a splitting of the gland itself. What will that do? It'll lock itself on the OD. It may potentially dip the internal part to the ID, causing shaft scoring. So really, these parts, again, the cast and machine, there's some inherent weaknesses, and again, some of these designs themselves just lend themselves to problems. All right, I'm not here to say that the pump manufacturers or aftermarket parts availability or the people that make them are inherently bad. I'm not. I just don't think they pay attention to it like we do. So of course, here at SealRyt, we have a tendency to over-engineer and over-manufacture things, but really it's due to really filling that need and what we feel should be present in the actual product itself to lend strength and reliability to it. So how our designs are and what initially makes us different is we machine every single one of these. None of these are cast then machined. We actually take a solid piece of steel, aluminum, whatever material we're going to make it out of, and we machine all of these parts individually. Okay. Another thing, this is not a new design. However, all of our gland followers are interlocking. So what you don't have, like this, where you have an actual split where the stud goes through, where your gland stud goes through, causing this motion, or potentially causing this motion where the actual gland follower split. By having it locked in, you have much more mated surface, or a larger area of mated surface along that gland follower, so that this will actually prohibit the gland from splitting in this direction. Okay, once you apply enough force down on the actual gland itself. Along with the construction, We also machine these things to exacting tolerances based on the size of the pump that we're going to be placing these in. This also allows for again, closer tolerance, closer clearance here, which will prevent it from actually opening up when you put it into service. So just to show you some of the designs that we do have, this one here is a 4-bolt, again, interlocking. All right, this one's actually made out of steel, this one's made out of aluminum. And then we are also able to customize some of our gland followers per the customer's needs. So here, as you can see, we have slotted so that they can maneuver this gland into the position that it's most beneficial. They're not locked in by predetermined stud locations. Again, this was requested by a customer. We were happy to oblige. So once again, this is Seth Wilkinson from the SealRyt Corporation. Thank you for your time. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or you would like to measure up for a gland follower. Thank you.